Knicks rehab.
Thanks to this commenter right here, Mikal Bridges is the worst trade in Knicks history. Can I even read it? That's Ron Severe, 1882. Mikal Bridges for the New York Knicks is the worst trade in Knicks history. Let's review it. The Brooklyn Nets have agreed in principle on a trade to send Mikal Bridges to the New York Knicks for Bojan Bogdanovic for four unprotected first-round picks, a protected first-round pick via the Bucks, an unprotected pick swap, and a second rounder, tell sources. So 4 first-round picks, damn. 1 protected first-round pick, double damn. And then a third set of picks, which is a pick swap. So it looks like 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. That's what he's infamous for. All ball. We see with the Giannis trade looming. A lot of things going down recently. Is Mikal Bridges the worst trade in New York Knicks history?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Big shout out to that person. I can't wait to hear what Flea got to say because, like, certain topics, I love to hear what he has to say. But, yes, because when you look at it, right, what we gave up and what we thought we was getting back, and now he may potentially be the reason we can't get Giannis because Milwaukee want picks. Milwaukee don't even care about the talent at this point. That's why I said if we had the picks, we probably could have did Bridges, Deuce, and Hulk Porty in all the picks. Like, Milwaukee just want picks. When you look at all the teams that's trading for Giannis, what they're willing to give up is terrible. But the teams have the picks. So when you look at it from that standpoint, and when the trade deadline is over, and if we don't win a championship, and, you know, Mikal Bridges doesn't turn into an all-time great defender, which we thought he was going to come over and be, maybe a potential all-star, one of the best 2 guards in the NBA, and we give up what we gave up, and like I said, when it's all said and done, and when it comes out years from now, when they go, Knicks just didn't have the picks. If they had the picks, the trade would have went down like this. I have to agree with that young man that put that up there. That was a great topic, and we love giving props to people. I've never heard nobody discuss that. And it's like, yo, when you really think about it, he might be the worst trade in Knicks history. Now, we know it may be some others as far as maybe overpaying a guy, getting somebody when it's too late, they too old. You get the guys that's broken down. No, we actually traded for this guy and thought this was going to take us to another level defensively. And now with Giannis right there at the ground, like right there, and Milwaukee is going, we just want picks. And we don't have any because we gave them all up for Mikal Bridges, who isn't an all-star, who isn't the top 5, top 10 best shooting guard in the league, who isn't one of the top defenders in the league. I have to agree. Like I said, now, if we go on and win a championship, then all bets is off. But right now, today, he might be the worst trade in Knicks history just because of what we had to give up.
Flea.
I was getting my dates together.
Told you. I told you. I can't wait for him to say something. I can't wait.
Let's get my dates together. That's all.
What do you feel about Mikal Bridges being the worst trade in New York Knicks history?
Hey, big shout out to Mighty Everyone. Mighty over everyone. What do you say? September 22nd, 1992. That was a bad trade. Mark Jackson for Doc Rivers and Charles Smith. Mark Jackson, Rookie of the Year. Mark Jackson, All-Star, second year. Mark Jackson. That was a bad trade. Now, don't get me wrong. What doesn't make it feel so bad? 51-win team with Mark Jackson. We trade Mark Jackson. We get Charles Smith and Doc Rivers. We win 60 games the next year. We trade Mark Jackson. Eastern Conference Finals. You know, the rest is history. Whatever. So, and in hindsight, I guess that's a good trade. I guess, but Give me Mark Jackson over Doc Rivers and Derek Harper any day of the week. Any day of the week. Give me Mark over them guys. But I digress. I think that was a more worse trade than this Mikal Bridges. For me, the Knicks haven't proven over the last couple of years, with the exception of maybe Mitchell Robinson and Deuce McBride, that we actually develop our draft picks, right? Like, okay, we got Kolek right now, and we trying to see what we're gonna do with him. But for the most part, we don't develop our young guys. So how valuable are the draft picks? The draft picks are valuable now because Giannis is available. But if a marquee player isn't available, I think you think about doing that if you're trying to upgrade your two-guard position. The Orlando Magic just gave up the same amount of picks for Desmond Bane. For Desmond Bane, who ain't never been an all-star. Neither one of them have been all-stars in this league. Neither one of those guys. So, okay, we could critique the trade. The worst in NBA. In Knicks history.
Stay right there. Giannis doesn't want to go to Orlando. Giannis wants to go to New York. Desmond Bane and his picks isn't the reason Orlando can't go get Giannis. Mikal Bridges and those picks may be the reason we can't get Giannis, Flea. I just want to say that Giannis is not talking about I want to go to Orlando.
When the last time Giannis said he wanted to be in New York? When the last time you heard that? When was that?
They said it today. He prefers New York, if not Miami.
Where did we hear that at? Where was that said? And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking.
It's just the rumor mill. Whoever, Jake Fisher, whoever it is.
See? You see this? You see? Heem 671. Big shout out to Heem 671. Derek Harper was a better player than Mark Jackson. Sorry. Big shout out to Heem 671. Appreciate the comment, brother.
At that time?
Derek Harper never was better than Mark Jackson. And I love Derek Harper. He was never in his life.
At no point in his career was he ever better.
Not in high school, not in college, not
ever.
In the league.
Ever. Never. And Derek was good. OG just asked for Derek Harper the other day.
That's my guy. You
just asked for him. You just asked for him. And no ever was Derek Harper ever better than Mark Jackson.
Yeah, big shout out him.
Big shout out to him. We ain't gonna spend too much time on that. But no, I can't say this is the worst trade ever. I've seen the Knicks do some bad things throughout my lifetime. I can't consider this, especially when we are a win now team. We were on the verge of going to the championship. I think that was a win now move. So I can't be mad at us doing that because there was no inclination that Giannis was going to be available or that he wanted to be a New York Knick. So maybe in hindsight, it's like, damn, wish we had those picks to get this deal done. But in the position that we were in, we needed to upgrade that spot. We upgraded it because it resulted in us having a deep playoff run. So I don't think it's the worst trade. Not me.
Now you're making me get back into a bag I don't want to get into.
That's why I hate when he be going sometimes because he know too much knowledge and he start bringing up shit. We don't want to hear all that. Just agree with us, man.
No.
Fuck, man.
You're not blaming Flea for this bullshit.
Well, yes,
this is all on you.
You thought you was gonna duck it, right?
I wouldn't have got Mikal Bridges in the first place. Fuck out of here.
I never wanted him for 5 draft picks if Dante wasn't going to be here.
I knew he was going to bring that name up. I know that's the name. That's the name. Any
trade that is under the Isaiah Thomas regime was worse than Mikal Bridges. All of them. Even Zach Randolph, because you paired him up with Eddie Curry. That was stupid. Isaiah Thomas signed Jerome James. I forgot about all this. I had to look this shit up. Channing Frye and Steve Francis to the Portland Trailblazers for Zach Randolph to pair him up with Eddie Curry. Do you forget how we acquired Steve Francis? All ball,
Bad work.
terrible. Maybe Jamal Crawford I'll give him because he was exciting. Awful. I don't know if we got Nate Robinson. Did we drafted Nate Robinson?
We did draft Nate.
We traded for
They
Penny. We did a whole lot of mess. We traded for Baron Day. I get it. We did a whole lot of nut shit.
The Knicks sent Glenn Rice and $1 million to the Rockets for Muggsy Bogues.
And Maurice Taylor. Didn't we send him for when we get Maurice Taylor in that too?
Chat, y'all see what they doing? This is their fault taking us down memory lane.
The Mavs sent Howard Isley to the Knicks.
Howard Isley.
And after all, I can't wait for you to finish. Go ahead.
Howard Isley. Oh, shit.
I'm not going to trust
Isley
we were
was
for Keith Van Horn. Keith Van Horn could have something in the tank. I can't believe you made me look up.
How did we get Chris Duhon?
Steve Francis. I'm not even going Chris Duhon, Fleet.
How did we get Chris Duhon?
Watch this. Watch this. This might be the worst of all time.
What we got?
Marcus Camby and Mark Jackson, along with the 7th overall pick in the 2002 draft for Antonio McDyess.
Antonio McDyess was as healthy as Robert Williams is today, the Time Lord. At that time, Antonio McDyess was as healthy as Robert Williams III, who is playing in Portland right now. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He was as healthy as that guy. And we traded Marcus Camby, who helped us go on a legendary run to the finals. Legendary run to the finals.
Nigga said Ronald Isley played for the Knicks. well.
Wait.
You're stupid.
Nigga said we had the Isley brothers on the Knicks. I ain't know that shit.
Dog. It was bad.
Hold on. And then the worst
bad,
of them
man.
all. I don't know if they all might come second to this. Andrea Bargnani.
But that was a draft. We drafted him though.
No, the fuck
No,
we did
sir.
not. He was in
No,
Toronto.
So we
sir.
didn't.
He
Oh
was
yeah. I'm
Toronto.
sorry. What was the
No,
guy
we
we
did
drafted?
not.
No. I'm sorry. What was the guy, the big man we drafted, and he basically didn't amount to nothing. He had a weird name too.
Frederick Weiss.
Yes.
That's who Vince Carter did.
Bargnani. Damn.
But we're not gonna get off Bargnani because his
Somebody said
agent is our current president of basketball operations. That's who was his agent back then. So, oh boy, we had to go down memory lane so that we can remember why we were excited, why the last 5 years have been exciting as a Knicks fan, because this is the turmoil we lived. It was an absolute dumpster fire for most of our lives with the New York Knicks.
Now,
Big Fleece. Shout out to East Blue Drew.
how y'all just did that and broke that down was beautiful. I can't even argue that. But I'm always gonna play devil's advocate.
As you do.
When it's years down and we up here on Knicks rehab and we having the same discussion, when it comes out, the only reason the Knicks couldn't get Giannis Antetokounmpo is because they gave up too many draft picks for an average shooting guard in the NBA. He's never going to be an all-star. He's never going to be a DPOY candidate.
He has been.
I'm saying with us, duration with us, brother.
I'm with you.
That's all I'm saying. When it comes out, why the Knicks couldn't get Giannis? Or they didn't have the draft picks. Why not? They gave them all up for Mikal Bridges. Well, what has he done with the Knicks? Nothing. To me, that's what's going to make it bad. Everything y'all said, I 100% agree. Those moves were so horrific, right, that you have to question the front office and go, hold up. Like somebody had y'all at gunpoint and made y'all do this? Y'all can't be that dumb. But when it's all said and done, and we had an opportunity to get one of the best players in the NBA, something we've never been able to do. Because I love Melo. He wasn't the best in the NBA. He wasn't a former champion, MVP, DPOY, none of that. And there's one reason and one reason only. Oh, and by the way, we probably could have heist Milwaukee because all they wanted was the picks. So we probably could have got Giannis and kept catting everybody. That's what's going to make it the worst trade in Knicks history. That right there is what's going to make it that. Because they're going to go, they would have took what? Oh, yeah, no, we would have took whatever. We just wanted them picks. Oh, so we could have kept Cat and Brunson and Hart and Mitch and OG.
No.
Okay.
What you mean, no? Why you saying no?
No, because the picks matter. I'm with OG. The picks matter. But those guys want young players. Yeah, they outline what they want. They want young players. There's a couple of directions that Milwaukee could go in. They can either go and get young players, expiring contracts, and get draft picks. They could go that direction. They could go with a piece that it's going to help them build around and expiring contracts and picks. So like that's why even Houston came up, because they're like, we'll take Sengun because Sengun is somebody that we can actually build around. Okay, we're not going to be good this year, but okay, going forward, we could build around them. Or they could just flat out bottom out and tank and try to get into this draft that is supposed to be one of the best draft classes of all time, right? Like Milwaukee got things that they could do. So I just wish Giannis would come out and say, yo, this is where I want to be, because it would take away the leverage from the team. The team could do a bunch of different things right now. If he's more vocal about, yo, I want to do this is where I want to be. Now it hamstrings them a little bit. Okay, so now we got to do this because, we want to capitulate to where he wants to go. So,
but Fabian, do y'all see, all right, the teams that he wants to go to, right? Miami, let's say Golden State, and who else was it?
Timberwolves.
There's Minnesota. Minnesota's out there right
now. Minnesota kind of just popped up. I'm saying from the initial beginning, I know it was New York, Miami, and then everybody was saying Golden State. I'm just saying, aside from Minnesota, what great young talent do these other teams have that's better than maybe a young talent that we have? I'm just saying it is Miami, like I said, to have decent players? It's the picks. It's the picks. Everybody's getting fleeced. When you see what KD went to these teams from, when you see some of these trades that's going on, teams are getting fleeced. We could have fleeced Milwaukee, but we can't because we don't have the picks. We jumped the gun on Mikal Bridges, and for me, that's what makes it one of the worst trades in Knicks history, because we was thirsty to get an average player. That's what he's been for us so far. He wasn't that player from Phoenix or that offensive player from Brooklyn. We got Jalen Brunson's friend.
OG, but he was last season.
He was good.
We having real amnesia about what we did last year, all because we struggled at some point this year, and now Giannis is here. Can we stop acting like we didn't have a damn good year last year? We had a damn good year last year. Part of the reason why.
What are you doing now, Flea?
100%, but I'm talking about just telling the whole story.
Okay.
Like it's easy to, you know what I'm saying? It's just easy to start right here and start the story from right here. If we start the story from right here, of course, the brother's inconsistent. He just had 30 the other night. He had 10 points against LA. Couldn't find him against LA. Right? So I get what you're saying. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, when we see some of these trades go down, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we see the Giannis trade go down, we're going to go, we had better than that. Like, and that's what's going to irk me. Like, we see trades go down, and you going, how did they pull that off? How? We got a better offer than that. The picks jammed us up, Flea. I think, like I said, y'all said something the other day, and he going to have to start being held accountable. Is your man back there making the moves? Is Jalen Brunson okay in all this shit? Because, listen, you want to get your friends over here, and we overpaying for these motherfuckers, and we in championship contention. What's really going on? Is it you? Is it the front office? Like, how many years can we be incomparable and just continue season after season, decade. Remember, Flea, this has been decades of us just being a terrible front office. No, but it's the truth, right?
Yeah.
And when we think we see some daylight, we once again do what the Knicks do. We overpay for an average player because we want to pair him up with his best friend. And I'm just saying, now that we have a player available, so here's my question for you, Flea. When the front office made this move, did they think we were good enough to win a championship? Did they not say, damn, that might be too many draft picks? That might buy this back into you know what? Because what if we need to make another move?
That's what the thought. I'll let you get and jump into this, Fabian, but I think that's totally off, OG. I think when they traded for Mikal Bridges, I think that was like another bow. It's gonna put us right, and it did. Right at the end of the day, we was right there. That's why I still call it an overreaction, but we got to move on. That's why I was like, oh hell no, fire Tibbs, get this nigga out of here. We gave you the best roster you could roll with, nigga, and you didn't get us where we need to be. It ain't the players, it's you, fool. Get up out of here. And the only guy that spoke up last year about minutes and playing time and guys getting overplayed is the guy that we traded 5 picks for. Right? So it's like, at the end of the day, it worked. Right? So again, I understand what you're saying, OG. If we start the tape, if we, the cassette tape, if we started right here, right? Fast forward, started right here, it feels good. Yeah. Hell yeah. That's a bad trade because now we ain't got the pieces to go get Giannis. But when we made that trade, did that trade happen right before Cat, Fabian, or right after Cat? What happened first?
It happened early summer before Cat.
Early summer. So it was Cat. It was right. So it was Bridges, and then later on it was Cat. Right. So now it's like boom, that domino falls, and then boom, the Cat domino falls. Oh, we made in the shade, and we was right there in the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's hard for me to disagree with OG, only because if we're looking at it now, fuck, we ain't got the picks to move this dude, and he wants to be here, and this is what's holding us up. Now we got to get all these other teams involved. That's why we would have to get Portland involved in an extra team. We couldn't do this, as a two-team deal because we don't have it. I just think it's an overreaction by saying this is the worst trade because we getting Bridges over here is just what the doctor ordered at that moment. Right now, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I'll say that.
I just think it was ever since the OG trade. I don't remember us making a good trade. That was it. Because even like the way we let Grimes go, looking back on at the time, he looked like he wanted to fight for playing time, so we understood it. You got Bogey, so it was okay. But then you follow that up with the Bridges thing, and it was like, yo, all right, if you keep the depth, like if you got Dante, Hart, and Mitch off the bench, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. And now you keep Randall, who's now rumored to be a part of Minnesota's package, to go get Giannis. You would have still had Randall to get rid of. So I never understood that. And the Cat thing, again, it just didn't fit Tibbs. But I don't know if Mikal will go down as these guys because this is Bayani is nuts. Trading for Antonio McDice is a roll of the dice. So the Cat thing was a roll of the dice in terms of the fit. You knew who you had with Tibbs. It was just, I don't know if it'll be considered as bad, but I mean, it is attached to his name since he got here because he doesn't play like someone that's worth 5 draft picks.
Right. I mean, for me, we've been doing this as an organization forever. And when you look at it, hindsight, it was a bad deal. I'm sorry. It was a bad trade. I think we did that for Brunson. That's his friend. That's his guy. They really was, the Villanova Knicks, and they overpaid for him. Remember, he was a bench guy in Phoenix. Okay, you went to Brooklyn. We know that's smoke and mirrors. Look at Michael Porter Jr. We know any half-decent player, you go somewhere where there's no structure, you could just do whatever. Nah, you don't overpay for a player like that. That was to get Brunson and his guys to have some chemistry, and they thought that was going to catapult us to the next level, which I agree with Flea. We was in the Eastern Conference Finals, 2 games away from the finals. But now when you look at him this season, where's the progress?
Even if he's here, you will have to trade depth. and with Cat and him and to go get Giannis. My thing is you keep losing players because even if you had Tibbs here, we kept Tibbs in check by having that many players that you could play. Because the guys that he didn't want to play, we got rid of them. So we got it to a point where it was 8 guys legit that you cannot argue will get on that court for you, Tibbs, and do what you want them to do. That's what I didn't like about it. And that's part of the reason why Tibbs overplayed them other dudes. Tibbs was so crazy. He said, yo, them dudes are such bummage at the end of the bench. I'm going to play Josh Hart 45 minutes a game in the playoffs. But that's how insane he is. He has your mentality. Yo, man, you 25 years old, man.
Yeah.
Put an ice pack on it.
Yeah, but them guys, but that goes from, listen, high basketball IQ, you know how to do that and rest on the court at times. But for me, when you look at the history of the NBA and trades, what we gave up for Bridges, you don't give that up for a player like that. I'm sorry. No disrespect to him. But like I said, the history of the NBA, 5 picks for average shooting guard or average small forward, whatever position he plays. Nah, man, stop it. I'm not debating with that with nobody. You hold those, like you say, Fabian, for the game changer. When that call coming, yeah, we was excited we got Mikal Bridges because we said, okay, him and OG on the wings. Listen, we got the defense locked down with that. But we all know when you get that call and they say 5 picks for who? And we only get Mikal Bridges? Ain't another 1 or 2 players coming with that? Nah, man, no. So for me, when I look at it like that, yeah, them other moves was horrific. But this right here might potentially be the move that is not going to allow us to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. And I'll guarantee you, if we still had those picks, we would probably have to give up less talent. And like I said, just imagine being able to get Giannis and you still could keep Cat, Mitch, OG, and Brunson. So, I mean, I get, we probably fatigued at this point with this conversation, but I love the convo because I never heard nobody even bring that up. Like, damn, was that Mikal Bridges trade one of the worst trades in Knicks history? And I just love how we really discussed it because I think everybody had a good point. Even the chat. The chat made good points too. So I love it.
I mean, all that tells me is that Leon Rose got to keep his eyes on the prize, baby Bubba. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize picks.
It's good,
to be right. ALLBALL TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.